All right, let's jump right in. Welcome to this explainer, where we're unpacking a seriously coveted opportunity that just opened up over at Hyundai Motor Company's design division. If you've ever found yourself totally obsessed with automotive styling, well, this is exactly the breakdown you need. Today, we're going to decode exactly what Hyundai is hunting for in their search for a brand new senior exterior designer. We'll separate the myths from the hard facts, walk through the strict requirements, and lay out the exact roadmap to landing a gig that literally shapes the future of mobility.
So think about it for a second. Who really shapes the cars we drive? We spend so much time obsessing over the engine, the battery range, the horsepower, basically the mechanical heartbeat of the vehicle. But what about its soul? What makes a car look just visually incredible out there on the road? What makes you actually turn your head when it cruises past? Well, it takes a very different kind of genius to dictate the curves, the stance, and the entire aesthetic language of a vehicle.
And that brings us to the core of this role. A senior exterior designer is the ultimate creative force responsible for crafting the external visual design of these vehicles. We're talking about literally sculpting the car's body shape and proportions. This is the person who meticulously designs the front fascia, the grille, the headlights, taillights, bumpers, and even the wheels. They're the ones dreaming up exterior style and concepts for future Hyundai models, using advanced 2D sketches and 3D automotive visualizations. It's highly specialized, and honestly, it's intensely creative.
All right, moving into section 1, art over engineering, the big misconception. We really need to clear the air right off the bat about what this job actually is. Hyundai draws a really stark line here between who should apply and who shouldn't. In fact, their recruiter explicitly warns applicants about a massive misconception. This is not an engineering design position. The ideal candidates? They're creative transportation stylists. Think automotive designers, transportation designers, vehicle exterior stylists, and industrial designers who specifically work in the automotive space. On the flip side, if you're a mechanical design engineer, a CAD engineer without a core styling background, or maybe a production or manufacturing engineer, well, this specific role just isn't for you. Hyundai is making it crystal clear. They want a creative automotive stylist, not a core mechanical engineer.
Which brings us to Section 2, the almighty design portfolio, your golden ticket. Make no mistake, this is the absolute make-or-break element of your entire application.
So what actually needs to go into this portfolio to prove you've got the aesthetic chops for a top-tier original equipment manufacturer OEM? You absolutely have to showcase a deep, intuitive understanding of vehicle aesthetics and form development. That means your portfolio needs to be packed with raw vehicle sketches, highly polished concept car designs, top-tier 2D rendering skills, and comprehensive 3D automotive styling projects. This is your chance to prove you can visualize the future and actually translate it into a tangible, beautiful design.
Take just a second to really absorb this quote straight from the job spec. Applications without a design portfolio will not be considered. Period. It honestly doesn't matter if you have a perfect GPA or the most beautifully formatted CV in the world. A standard resume alone simply won't cut it here. Your visual proof of talent, that is literally the only key that unlocks the door to this role.
Okay, up next is Section 3, checking the right boxes, prerequisites for the role. Let's look at the formal background you'll need to even get your foot in the door at Hyundai.
Let's break down the ideal candidate profile. For the mandatory requirements, you're going to need a bachelor's or master's degree, and it needs to be from a recognized design school, preferably focusing on transportation, automotive, or industrial design. You also must be legally eligible to work in India and be totally open to overseas business travel. Now, when it comes to preferred experience, Hyundai definitely has a type. They really prefer candidates who already know the ropes at major automotive OEMs, so having experience at places like Tata Motors, Mahindra and Mahindra, Toyota, or Kia, that's going to give you a massive advantage in the selection process.
Let's transition over to the roadmap with Section 4, how to get hired, the final boss and reward. Here is the exact actionable path to actually landing this job.
Hyundai runs a very structured 5-stage selection process. Step 1 is your initial resume and portfolio screening, but Step 2, the portfolio review, is explicitly highlighted as the most crucial round. This is basically the final boss. If your aesthetic vision wows the team here, you move on to Step 3, which is the design and creative interview. That's followed by an HR discussion in Step 4, and finally, offer and background verification in Step 5. Survive that portfolio review, and you are well on your way.
To actually get started on that path, you need to follow these precise steps. First, combine your CV and your design portfolio into a single PDF file,
And listen carefully to this part. It absolutely must be under 10 megabytes. Do not let a silly file size error ruin your chances before you even start. You'll email that PDF directly to the application address provided, and hey, if you have specific questions about the hiring process, they've set up a separate contact just for inquiries. Make sure you follow these instructions to the letter.
Now, why does all of this matter so much? Because the stakes and the compensation are incredibly high. For a senior exterior designer at a major automotive OEM like Hyundai, the compensation is estimated to range anywhere from 18 to upwards of 40 lakhs per annum. That is a massive window. And where you land on that scale, well, it depends entirely on the sheer quality of that portfolio we keep talking about, along with your past automotive OEM experience, your global exposure, and your raw design expertise. In this role, your creativity literally dictates your value.
So, we've broken down the exact profile Hyundai is hunting for right now. We've separated the creative stylists from the core engineers. We've mapped out the strict portfolio requirements. And we've revealed the incredibly lucrative potential waiting at the finish line. The only thing left to ask is, are you ready to design the future of Hyundai? Because if you have the vision, the sketches, and the aesthetic drive, it is officially time to polish up that portfolio and make your move.